And we're live.
All right.
Chad, how are you?
Doing great, man. Living the dream, loving life.
Living the dream is right. Yeah, we were just chatting a little bit before we jumped on here, and this is one of those stories that I think is unbelievable. Honestly, it's like for me, we just made a move beginning of the year to EXP, and you're somebody that has been there. You're like you're four now, right?
4 years. Yep. 4 years.
4 years.
Little change.
And
Yep.
so I've been bouncing some stuff off you here. This year obviously there's some things like it's just a completely different mindset and model and way to do things. And even before this call, we're really like talking through like team approach and organization and things like that. So I really wanted to dive deep with you today and just kind of, I guess, to start, take us through the journey.
I
Right?
love it.
How'd you get
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. So I started, I think it was like 2014, halfway through that year. I was working with my daddy as a used car dealership, and I was a used car salesman. I mean, he's one of the worst salesmen I've ever met. He's a great buyer. He buys cars cheap, but he's not the best salesman. So unfortunately, that didn't translate into this. But anyway,
Well, that's how you get good on the buyer side, right?
that's it. That's it. He showed me though. He showed me like honesty. He was always straight up with people, and that really did help. I think in a lot of aspects of what we've done, especially with where we are now. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I looked to real estate. For me, it was like a cheap way to start a business. I want to start some type of business. At
Yep.
$1,000, $2,000, you're in some classes. So I did it. Sold a couple houses at regional brokerage that year for a couple months. Sold like three
When
houses. I
when
think.
did you start? What year did you start?
2014. Yep.
Okay. So like
July.
years you've been in. Yeah.
Yep. And then I did the math, and we negotiated a 65% split at the time. And I did the math, and like, nah, this doesn't work. So we went over to Remax. We were there, did the 90-10 split. It was a couple hundred a month. So it was like a big leap when you're a new agent to split. Not a lot of new agents will take on that big, desk fee. But I did the math, and I saw 10 deals, and we made more money. And I said, if I can't sell 10 deals, I quit. So in a year. So that second year we sold, first full year, sorry, sold 23 units. It was just me. The year after, that's where I started to take off, though. I sold 60 that year. That's where we actually made the switch to EXP. So that would have been 2016. But I really was just burning and churning, man. It was good. And I looked at the 60 units, and I thought to myself, I'm like, I got real busy, and I'm like, if family or friends come in right now, like a family member of mine comes in to buy a house, I can't focus on them. There's no way, like I can't focus on my kids, let alone,
Yeah.
them.
Like out of the 60, how many of those buyers, how many of those listings would you say? Like,
It was heavy buy side. Yeah,
heavy
heavy buy side.
because that's a lot of running.
You're right.
You know.
Yeah, you're right, and that's I think that I didn't see the benefits of the listing side early on, and I think listings, it's better. Obviously, it's better for your time if you have the skill. It takes more skill. Buyers, it just takes more time. And I thought it was so easy to just say, hey, I'll just keep seeing houses with you. It's just really stupid when you look back, but nonetheless, it's how I got there. And but doing those 60 units, I was like, this isn't the life I want, and my wife just got her license through that year, starting to look at it. I'm like, I could pour more value out into people. Like I can crush it in sales. I can go to the 90 units. I can up the sales price over time. I can do that. I can build that solo business.
Right.
But it's just me and the clients, and that's it. I kind of wanted to have an impact too. I think it's somewhat been a hidden. I don't think I knew what I was doing at the time, but it's been something I wanted to do.
Right.
So I formed this team. We did 80 units the first year, and I tell people all the time, that's a pay cut, because I was going 60 at 100%. Now I go 80, and I got some splitting 50-50. It was a pay cut.
Yep.
But I knew where I wanted to be. So then we did 104 units, started to look more where I wanted it. Last year we did 120. And this year we're out doing that. I'm hoping we'll see what we crack here. But, now our sales prices and all that, our market is, it's like a 150 average sales price, not very great, but we pull the units through. We have a very systems operations based. I think that's where we've really, that's my strong suit. And you got to play to your strengths. That's kind of why I work. So yeah, I mean, it's been a journey. It's been fun, and that's kind of just the sales process. I mean, we 4 years ago, we really just looked at EX. We really just wanted to get away from the politics that were in our office, right? There was we just didn't like the vibes. We also were being they wanted us to use their title and lender and stuff like that. And we had our own partnerships, you know what I mean? It benefited the clients, benefited us. So, you know, we just got agitated with all those scenarios and went looking, and we found EXP at the time.
How did you come across the EXP? Cause I like 4 years ago, I don't even know that I like had heard of them. Like I'm sure I have, but it wasn't like something that would have been on my radar.
There was one agent. Yeah, it was non-existent, really. There was one agent I saw. I just somehow saw her name when I got licensed, and I saw she was at EXP. Like she's not even there anymore. I don't think she's an agent anymore. There was one agent that I did see there, so I saw it in my market in one spot, and then really just searching. Like I'm very tech-based, internet, Google. You know what I mean? Like I knew of the brokerage. I started looking at that, and we did look into Real at the time too. We looked into that a little bit. I actually met with some of their leadership at the time, and it's a $1 million decision. It's just hilarious, but
you're not kidding. I will get to that.
But me and Brittany, we joke about it all the time. We really chose EXP at that time because their models were semi-similar when you look at commission structures. We chose it because of the name. We didn't want to say, you know, oh, we're at real estate. We're real realtors. It's too much real. Like it was like, what? Yeah. So we chose it because of the name. They had like 500 agents at the time. EXP had 800 at the time when we first looked, you know, and you know, I like the model. Again, I really joined on commission alone. I saw the stock, I saw the rev share. My thought process at
cap structure the same then?
Yep. It was everything was the same. The stock was actually 10 times better back then because it was so early on. I mean, I think back, it's changed a lot, but I think back when we first started, if you recruited an agent who sold their one house, right now they could get $400 or so a couple $100 of stock. Back then you got 750 shares. It was unreal back. If I knew, you know, today, oh man, like not like we've had any problem as it is, but that would have been, it was huge back then.
You would have totally changed the way that you did everything the last 4 years, right? Like you'd have done a lot the same, but you'd have probably focused on certain things differently as well. Like if you knew the stock was going to get over from $1 to $60 or so, you know, like what was the stock price when you first started?
$1.20. $1.20.
Yep. And let everyone know, like, when do you get stock at EXP? Right.
There's like,
so this is something I think it's just confusing to some. And even to me, like when we came, it was like, well, we know that just based on split, we're gonna like have way more money. We know we're gonna get some stock back. We'll hit Icon. We know that and we have the ability to earn revenue share, which is the other stream of passive income. But it's like, and then the stock's kind of like, all right, we'll take some stock, right?
Yep.
For you, it's a life changer. Literally.
That's exactly it. No, when I looked at it, like I said, like I joined because of commission. I saw the stock, and my main thought process was, you know, look, it's a virtual company, right? I mean, yeah, we have bricks and mortar in places, but it's still a virtual company. The average age of a real estate agent is 52. Not that age matters with technology, but it does sometimes. I did not think that regular real estate agents would get behind this model. I was like, I get it. I played video games growing up, you know, but they're not. So that stock and that rev share element, just like you did, you know, we didn't care. We just looked at the commission. And people that join today, we have joined them. They just look at the commission, and it's a win right there. But that stock, over time, you just do what you're doing, and it builds up. I mean, you get stock from selling one house per anniversary a year, from capping. You get it. You get stock from recruiting an agent. You get stock when you Icon. If you sell about 35 to 40 units a year, you're an Icon agent. You're crazy not to be here if you do the math. I mean, we've got an Icon 4 times. We're about to hit our 5th Icon. That's $16,000 in cap back each year. Keep in mind that first year I got 16 grand when it was like $3 a share. I mean, it ain't 16 grand no more.
Yeah. So basically, the EXP cap is 16 grand. So you're on an 80-20 split until you pay the company 16 grand, and then you get 100% from there on after. When you hit Icon, they give you your 16 grand back that you paid in the cap back in company stock, right? Yep. Which is vesting. And you got to do a couple things, cultural requirements, a couple things like that, but you do those anyway. That's not really
It's easy. It's an hour a month. You got to contribute. Like
not a big deal. Yeah. But so, realistically for somebody who's doing 35, 40 deals, depending on your price point, and an average price point in our market, at least Allegheny County. I mean, if you're over 200,000, I mean, you're doing 35 deals, I think, somewhere in that range. You're basically at 100%, like a true 100%. Plus, you get stock awards. Plus, you get like first deal cap. Like, so literally, like for people like us, I mean, when if you're doing transactions, they're paying you to work here.
Yep.
Like you're not giving them much. Like it breaks above 100%.
Well, so, and that's the model the model is just genius. They say it over and over, but it is. But what it is, I mean, like as a top producer, you're an influencer or you're driving market share for that company. I mean, so that's why you'll see right now agents that are being recruited over to EXP, they're throwing everything they can at them because they don't want to lose what that agent's driving to the company. So for them to pay top producers or influencers kind of more than what they bring in, it's because they're bringing in other things in other ways through their vanity, you know what I mean? And they're more lean and able to offer that. Plus it's just equity in the company. It's not like they're actually, paying them out. So, right. I mean, it's been huge. I mean, people say, well, it's 16 grand, but it's in stock. You're not actually, it's not your money. Well, it's very real. I can tell you how real it is. We've experienced it. And, realtors suck at saving, right? Like we don't save for our taxes. So if you're an Icon agent, you can look at it as you're investing 16 grand a year. You'll get to touch it in 3 years. The stock may be up or down from then, who knows? But even if it's worth half, you're getting 8 grand, 16 grand of your cap back that you put away. You made an investment with it in a company that you hopefully believe in, because if not, what are you doing? Yep. And it's great. And then we haven't even talked about the fact that you could put, there's an option. It's not a requirement, but you could put 5% of your commissions into the company stock at a 10% discount. I mean, we've done that since we've started. That's why we're able to sit here and say what the stock gains have done for us. I mean, if you make 10 grand in a month, you take $500 off of your commissions, right? Yep. You buy stock. If it's $60 a share, like it is today, you get it at $54 a share. You know what I mean? It's your stock. There's no vesting period. I mean, it's, 5%, you ain't going to feel that much. And like we just said, agents suck at saving. So between the 5% and the Icon program, it really builds you into good habits. You know what I mean? And you're not even noticing that you're doing it, because obviously realtors don't do that.
Exactly. Yeah, man. It's like, it's a total change. Like it is a true wealth building strategy and company, because, and it sounds cliche, but it's really not, right? Because when you take that, like we do the same thing. We put 5% in. You don't even see that. You don't even feel that. You don't even notice it. And it's just, and then all of a sudden you go in and check out your stock count. You're like, holy shit. Like, look how much money we've put in there. Agents will not do that. You're always going to be on the transaction treadmill. And then when you throw in a revenue share, and then when you throw in the vested stock awards, which at other companies, I've been in other companies, you've been in other companies, like you're getting a plaque and a pat on the ass. You know what I mean? Like here you're getting 16 grand in stock, not to mention the additional stock awards and the revenue share. So
they still send you that trophy.
They still send you the trophy, and you still get the trophy. Yeah.
Yeah. You get them both.
So do you mind sharing how many, like what your stock looks like? Because it blows my mind, which is why I had to have you on, like, and talk about it, like, because literally it's changed your life. Because where are you at now? You're in
Florida. Yeah. We just moved. I mean, I've always wanted to move to Florida. It was like but I figured we'd retire there when the girls get older, graduate high school. We got 2 kids, and we came down to actually recruit an agent down here a couple months ago and take a vacation while we were at it. And I just couldn't take it. I went after it. And honestly, we would never have been able to make that split turn decision without the company. I mean, the fact that the stock is there for us to buy a decent priced house very easily. the rev share, the residual income is there for me to relax a little bit about leaving my market. I still run my team up there. We're still kicking, some ass up there. It's doing great. We're selling 15 units a month roughly now. It's still doing great, but that's scary. I'm running a team that I'm, 1,000 miles away, or, a while far away. But there's some relax coming into play because I got other agents, with another team, so to speak, building the rev share group. But yeah, we made it like, just a decision to just come down, get a
decision. Because I remember I was talking to you, and I called you about something else, and you were like, "Did you hear?" I was like, "Hear what?" Like, well, we're moving to Florida. I'm like, just like that, and that was I think when was that? Probably like 2 months ago.
Yeah, dude, like end of July, we semi-decided. We flew down early August, like beat up the area. We went to every builder, every apartment complex, just up and down where we wanted to be. It's 3 days straight, left the kids at home with the sitter, come back up. We was like, we're doing it. We listed the house mid-August, sold it in 5 days. And yeah, a month later we were here in September, and it's we just went under contract building the house. And you know what? That was one of the things I said too. It was so much fun to sit there and build a house and not stress over the little things. And I won't give credit where it's not due. Like for me to say this about a company, it's like we bleed these company stuff here. You and I are talking about EXP Realty like crazy, right? Like, and other agents do it at all the other companies that we see around. But they just do it because they, I don't know, love the company. They want that brand. I don't know. We do it because we get something out of it. They reward us. It's an agent-centric company. It's kind of always like built by agents for agents. You know what I mean? And we live and breathe it because we truly get something back out of it financially. And obviously all that other good stuff, the culture, all this, that's all there too. I mean, that's human nature. That's what we do, But we're sitting there in that builder appointment, and you want the tray ceiling here, you want this there. And we don't have to, compromise as much because we made a good decision and we put some money behind the company we believe in. You believe in Berkshire or Remax or, whatever, and you're not putting any money behind it. You're just getting your sales. That's it. You know what I mean? You have no stake in that company. That company can crash and burn in tomorrow and you'll sign your license somewhere else and that's it. Yep. Well, we get some of that top level stuff here, and we benefited when EXP went from 1,200 agents to 35,000 agents. I felt that in my stock account. When Remax goes from 10,000 to 100,000 agents, what do you have? A slightly better listing presentation. Yet you'll go around and talk about how they're in X amount of countries and all this stuff. Guess what? That doesn't matter to you. You're not getting a buyer on your listing because Remax is in China. You know what I mean? Like, it's not happening. Yep. But here we care. Like I care if EXP goes into other countries, which they just announced. You know what I mean? Because we own a piece of the pie. It's awesome.
It's a totally different mindset. Yeah, I mean, you are an owner of the company, right? Like you're an owner agent. It's like a player coach, like back in the 70s. Like you have a vested interest in the company doing well, so you have. You have more of a incentive to help however you can, right? I've never seen it like this. And I was with, I've been with some bigger brokerages and, and even when I was in Florida, a couple and like, somebody was talking about what they were doing, like the door, like they would close the door and whisper because they didn't want somebody else to know like a strategy. It was, you're working for the same company and you like it. And you love that, you love that company and you might love that brand and you might like that better than somewhere else, but ultimately you're still competitors and there's still some competition. Like, it's not like you don't go up against somebody at our company, but there's just a different level of like camaraderie and incentive because everybody wants the company to do well because ultimately everybody does better, financially.
It's never been done. I mean, I think I forget who it was. It was one of the EXP agents was explaining it. I mean, you have the top company, the international company, right? Then you have the regions, and then the franchise owners, and then you have this. And what EXP does is they just cut that all out and put the agents right up there. I mean, those people were revenue sharing. We talk about the revenue share here. That's what they were doing. Those franchise owners, those region owners, they were getting a piece of all of our. I mean. I'm an agent, right? I sell. I know what it's like. we work our tails off through them deals. I mean, we do, we're at the final walkthroughs, trying to fix things if we need to, we're doing everything we can to make sure that things go smooth for our clients. We do 99.9999% of that work. You should get as much of that as possible throughout the model. And that's what this company does. It gives you the ability to make that plus grow with that company. But yeah, I mean, coming back to the culture, like you said, that is the number one thing that nobody can explain it until you've seen it. It's
Right,
just,
yep.
it sounds like we're just BSing you to get here, but it's so different. It's just so different. I mean, you and I aren't technically aligned, in any way. We just have we're aligned in the company. We both have stock in the company, and yet we go at each other with our styles and stuff and our models. Like we're hashing out because we want to see each other grow and do well because we're aligned in a different way. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I guess where do you want to go next? Do you want to go because I want to talk a little bit about revenue share. Like obviously we touched on the stock. We've talked about the stock. I mean, it's been huge for you. Obviously stock goes up, it goes down. Right now it's up. It could continue to go up, could dip, whatever it is. But I mean, it's given you the freedom and the ability and the backing and essentially the savings where you just can. You're thinking about retirement. Most people think about retirement. They think about retirement when I'm 62. I'll retire. It's literally in 4 years, giving you the ability to semi-retire.
It's crazy, yeah.
To know that you'll still be okay. Not that you're retiring. It's just it's giving you the ability to live the life you want to live in another state and build a team down there because you enjoy it and you don't have the absolute pressure where it's like, I need another deal. I need another
sell
deal.
Or die.
Right.
Sell or die, right?
Exactly. And I think, and I guess that segues into, man, like what does how's the revenue share been for you? Like what's that look like? I mean, obviously you don't have to get into numbers, but like obviously that gives you some passive and some additional monthly income that covers really whatever you want it to cover, right?
Yeah, I mean, so revenue share, like I said, with stock and revenue share, you don't get it up front. Anybody that's looking at the EXP, they kind of get it, but it's like you don't get it until you get it. Everybody has that moment at a different time. For me, it was 2 years in. It took me 2 years in to understand what this company was, what it was about. So that's where I started the kind of rev share thing. I don't really call agents. I mean, I might call 5 to 10 a year. I'm terrible. I should, reach out to a few more that I know. But generally speaking, I've just gotten those warm connections, people you do a deal with, our team members, the things. And it's now growing a lot because the people we've recruited have warm connections as well, like it should do. And, once I hit that, what's that?
Organic growth.
Exactly. It's really the best way too. People think that there's some magic formula for it. It's not. I mean, you look at the big recruiters at EXP, it was organic growth. They knew people. But I mean, it's once you hit about 10 people yourself in your first little layer, that's where it really starts to take off. So we're starting to grow without me now, and I'm just having so much fun with it. We went to Top Golf with an agent we recruited last week, and it's just so much more fun to be having these conversations with people in the same, solving similar problems to you. They're in the same boat, and you got this like group together, like your little tribe. You know what I mean? Like you do it probably at your current office or from the conferences you go to. You have some type of a tribe like that. Now the difference is you get to align together, make money together, and grow it together. Just partnering up here, it's a blast. So it basically turned me on to a new team. You know what I mean? Like I built a team. That's what I was doing. And all of a sudden in the last 6 months to a year, we're realizing, hey, there's kind of another team option here. You know what I mean? It's like a secondary thing, and it takes way less. There's way less investment. There's not this big monthly ad spend. There's way less training because a lot of them know what they're doing if they're capping or if they're producing. It's just way more fun. It's like a group of like-minded people just collaborating together all the time. It's awesome.
Yeah, and the possibilities are are somewhat endless, and I don't, and they're not necessarily endless, but there are a number of different ways that you can work that kind of system, right? Like you can, if you're growing your team, which you and I both know about. I mean, there's pain points, there's struggles, there's everything that comes with it. You have that. If you have an option to go with a different model where really you're sharing leads, or maybe you're just like adding a lead source for somebody in a different market, which you do. Or you might be the person that really is just like a great coach and can help people to further their business. So they add people to their organization. They maybe aren't selling that much, or you can still just come to the company and you can just sell, and you'll still make more money than you will most places, in most scenarios, almost every scenario, but in most scenarios. But like there's just a lot of different avenues that you could take revenue share. Do a little, do a lot, do like half, like build a team through it, build a brokerage through that. Something we haven't talked about. I mean, you have a branch office.
Yep.
You would have had to have gone through do you have your broker's license?
Nope. No interest.
No, you don't need it, because you don't have the liability, you don't have the payroll, you don't have any of the issues that you have as a broker.
So we talked this out. Like I was gonna do that.
Right.
Thanks something I did not. But about 3 years ago, we were gonna do that. I was looking with another. I was gonna partner up with somebody and go independent. We did the math, and at least with our commission split and our paying an admin, our net profit per agent, loosely speaking, was going to be around $5,000 per agent. That was what I had figured out through a lot of spreadsheets. And I look at it and I'm like, obviously it's a little less. It's around $2,000 to $3,000 per agent, give or take, with the rev share, whatever. Figure your numbers out. But I don't have the liability. There's some people you do not want to be liable for, running around with your brokerage name. Think about the fact that you can recruit like I have agents in Florida, California, New York, Texas, obviously PA. You can't do that with an independent. I wouldn't be able to have that. And it's not so much about making money off them. It's really to have that opportunity to partner with them and plug into them. You know what I mean? It's an opportunity to grow together with people and like get on the same team. You know what I mean? Like come onto my team here.
Yeah, I think that a lot of agents, they feel like they're on an island, at some brokerages. Like don't know where to go, don't know how to get leads, don't know how to get buyers, don't know how to get sellers. They've been through the brokerage training till they're blue in the face about writing a contract, but if you don't have anybody to work with, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. So it's like having the ability to partner with people doesn't really. It removed all of the borders and barriers that you ultimately would have had at a standard brokerage anywhere else, right?
Well, those top level agents aren't going to talk with the, relatively speaking, lower level agents generally, unless they're finding a way to make money off them is really what it is. And so when you're at your regular brokerages, you're stuck with that broker training. And let's be real. If they've done well in real estate and are making money doing it, they're probably out there doing it. They're probably not doing that training class or that, whatever. So when you're hitting these trainings at this brokerage, it's more just how to do this and how to be compliant from some salary or paid person who couldn't hack it themselves in the business. No, whatever. It just is what it is, but they're the ones doing the training. Here, it gives you the ability to partner up with people who are solving similar problems as you or bigger problems as you, raising ceilings, you know what I mean? Plus with the stock element, you have people outside your little team that are pouring value into the company to raise the production of that company to keep the stock going north. It's just one big financial alignment model to succeed together like a cohesive unit.
I can't think of like a better example of that is like when we were going through COVID. It's like, well, who's doing what? Like immediately our group, like our group is tapping into like some of the biggest agents in the nation doing 400, 500, like what are they doing? How are they handling this? What's like literally within like a week, you had what's the script? Here's the script. Here's how here's how you should be talking to people. Here's what you need to know. Here's how you protect yourself. Here's how you do a virtual. Like it's just like you had all that within minutes because literally everybody's willing to share exactly what they're doing. You're tying into some of the big dogs in the industry, and it's like you just collaborate so much quicker and faster, and everybody grows and does better because of that.
It's absolutely it. I mean, it's well, especially with workplace. I mean, because people know how to use Facebook. So when we have workplace, it just makes sense. It's so easy. But I mean, I was considering an ISA company, and what do you want to do? You want to ask other agents what they think, I mean, that's what you do. And obviously I did that too, but I literally searched in workplace, the name of the company, and I got it filtered through people's comments, their posts. So I got like agents' opinions. I crowdsourced 30,000 agent opinions by just searching the name of that ISA company through workplace.
Yep.
It's and agents pour in there. I mean, I always say when we first joined like 4 years ago, I was a different person. This place has changed me personally too.
Sure.
But I told Brittany like that we come into a training and these people were just pouring out their models. I'm like, look at this. They're pouring out their trade secrets here. Let's steal this shit and run.
Yeah, take it before they take it away.
But what I learned was when you lead with contribution, you get it changed me. You get it back. But still, I've talked to plenty of people who go to some of these conferences with other brokers. And they won't tell them like the teams, like they won't tell them their team splits or their models or where they get their business. Or they give them a piece of the pie.
They won't give you the secret sauce behind that's really making everything function. Yeah, explain workplace too.
Yes, I mean, you got Facebook and you got Facebook Messenger, right? You got Workplace, which is the equivalent of Facebook, and Workplace Chat, the equivalent of Facebook Messenger. It's the exact same thing. It's made by Facebook. I don't know why every company in the world doesn't do this, in terms of real estate at least. Yep. But yeah, I mean, you got your different groups, right? You got your Pennsylvania State group for us, or I come down into Florida, man, I'm already in the group and there's contract trainings going on that I'm learning from. They stream them live, like we're Facebook Live. They stream them in there for you. It just enables you to advance your knowledge so quickly. Let's say you want to work for sale by owners. You type in FSBO in that search bar, there's a FSBO scripts and objection group. Has 3,500 members in it. You got people in there saying what scripts are doing, what's working. I love the listing presentations group. There's an EXP listing presentations group, and we'll do this challenge a little bit more publicly here if there's any agents watching. I always do this when I'm talking with agents, but you go into an EXP listing presentations group. You look in there. There's over 1,000 listing presentations in there. People's PDFs, PowerPoints, videos, you name it. I challenge you to go to your current brokerage, ask everybody for their listing presentations. Let me know how many you get, and if you get more than 1,000, hit me up. I might join. Because it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it is. Well, honestly, too, I mean, I think it's that's one of the big things too, like support wise. Yeah, like you have an answer in seconds. Like you could go into the World, which is the cloud-based brokerage, or Workplace. If you're in your state group and you have a contract question, you put it in there and you got 5-10 responses, like usually within minutes, if not an hour. You have your broker, like it's just a way more efficient way to handle business, as opposed to you've got to go to the office, you got to find time with your broker. Somebody's like literally here. It's like bang, bang, bang. Everything's just done at such a faster rate of speed, and you get answers to your problems that much quick. And you would think it would be the opposite.
Yeah.
You get that question all the time. Well, then where's the support? Who do I talk to when I have a contract question?
I don't have my cheerleader there for me.
Yeah, it's like, well, you'll have an answer like almost immediately, usually.
Yeah, and that's what I love about that so much. I love that because like I've made posts myself in there, and you're not. I don't find real estate to be black and white. I find it gray. You ask 5 different people the same question, you're gonna get 5 different answers.
Yeah, you're gonna get different. Yeah, you're gonna get a different result.
And what I love is when you talk about all those comments. I mean, it's easy. You're not kidding. There's 10, 20 comments on everything you post. You're getting a top producer, right? You're getting a team leader answer. You're getting, I call them contract Nazis, people that love contracts. Some places there's attorneys who are also agents that are in there. You're getting previous people who owned brokerages, their own independents. You're getting your own broker in your state. You're getting 5 to 10 different opinions on everything you post in there. I mean, that's some power. And I always say I wish I had that when I first started, because I just went all on YouTube. You know what I mean? I'd YouTube everything. I think I went and researched every free piece of real estate, info there was on YouTube. but this is like it on steroids. There's way more info in there than you will ever have time to get to, but it's what you need. It's efficient, like you said. It's awesome. Yeah,
no, dude, I think it is crazy. Like, and I give you a lot of credit because you were like almost one of the pioneers of EXP, so to speak. I mean, there were people before you, but not a lot. Not a lot in this area. Like, I think I said this to you guys when the stock jumped up and I realized how many shares you guys have, and I'm like, you guys were playing chess and everybody else was sitting there playing checkers at our brokerages, just running our normal business, which a lot of people are just going to continue to do, and you just be in that rat race forever. It's crazy when you really think about it, and you really kind of see, like, imagine what would have happened if you just stayed at another brokerage or been at an independent brokerage right now. Like, how much different your life would be.
Those are my nightmares. But yeah, no, and it's funny because, like, look, there's this real, especially in the Pittsburgh market, there's this like ego-driven real estate game going on. There's this thing, okay, and it's fun. First of all, there's a great quote. How many success stories do you have to see to finally get it's real? But if you haven't taken a true look at this model, if you haven't heard enough success stories, like you're disservicing yourself. You need to. But what it is, and I think, hold on, my ADD is going to get me here, man.
It's okay. It happens.
I had a point. What were we talking about? We're talking about stock.
No, you were just saying sometimes it's the ego game where it's like,
there it is. Mm-hmm. I'm back. There it is. All right. So, you have agents like us, saying, hey, come join us, do this and that, or you have a lot of EXP agents like, we make money recruiting, right? So you see that everywhere. And there's agents that I've met with a year or two ago that are like, I didn't join Chad. Ha ha ha. Listen, like a capper's like $3,000 a year. It's great. I love to partner with anybody. I'm sure Matt would. Like, we love that. Yeah. We want to grow together. We want to have fun with people we want to grow with together. We like. You're the one shorting yourself. There's agents I talked with 2 years ago that would have a couple $100,000 in stock that they made that decision. So you can think it's hurting us all you want by saying no or by not looking, getting excited that you got to tell us no. You're just servicing yourself. You need to take a look at it. If you haven't, you need to do it very seriously. If you make your decision from there, it is what it is. But we've said 100 times, it's just a conversation. You know what I mean? Like, we're not this paid corporate W-2 employee where we have to make a metric every month to stay hired. No, we're here to help grow with other people, and it's like a pay raise 90% of the time when you look at it. You know what I mean?
Like, it is, man, and it's one of those things. Like, I think you have to be open-minded. If you're open-minded and you listen to it and you actually do some research on it, you just realize that you can't touch it. I mean, you really can't. And I was the same way. We were very closed-minded at first, and it was like, nah, not for us. Really happy where we're at. And I found out too, a lot of people that come, they were very happy. Sure, where they were at, and wouldn't have left, but they just found that there is just a better mousetrap here. There is a better model. And there's no way that you can, if you like, unless you just absolutely love showing houses, like, for the rest of your life, you want to be in a car driving around looking at houses with no, really no exit plan, no strategy for passive income or retirement. Like, because there are a lot of real estate agents like that out there. And I just knew that I did not want to be one of them, where this was like, there was no future, right? And unless you want to be like, you need to be looking at it, especially if you're a brand new agent. Like, my Lord, imagine if like when like when I first started out, I went to EXP, and I have 10 years in real estate building stock, like, I would be in such a different spot. And it's just the same with you. Like, imagine if you didn't come 4 years ago, like, and you're just starting now. It's like, what is that? I forget that quote. It's like, when's the best time to start, or when's the When's the second best time? When's the best time to start yesterday? When's the second best time to start today? Like you wish you would have started a year ago, but you didn't. So that's okay. But in 3 years from now, you're going to be wishing that you did, because ultimately there just isn't another. I'm so confident in it that there just isn't a better solution. There isn't. I know
there's never been an opportunity like this in real estate for the regular agents. Like there's been opportunity for maybe the top producers or maybe the franchise owners or the region owners, but there's never been an opportunity like this for somebody who sells 20 houses a year. This is an opportunity right now. You're going to park your license at a place for the next 10 years. This is going to build you something that you can have some other choices with. I'm not, like you said, I'm not being 80 years old with a cane going up and showing a house. I ain't doing it. I love my clients. I've had a blast selling houses. I've made some great connections, and I'm still going to continue to do that because I'll always be an agent. I love it, but I'm not going to be 80 with a cane.
Yeah, can you imagine? Like you're still having to chase down a transaction. Like every year you've got to, or every month you start over again. Like you're right. If you're not building something every month, back to zero. I mean, and I've been in it long enough where it gets, you burn out, man. That stuff gets old fast. Like you really have to sit down and look at this. Like what does my future look like? Right.
Who are you building it for? Right. You know what I mean? Like, are you building somebody else's? Or are you building your own? You know what I mean? And especially the teams and team leaders out there. I mean, their brokers are getting you, right? Because you're training their future products. You know what I mean? Here, when our team members, and we've said this, both you and I have said this, when they're ready to spread their wings and fly, whenever that time is right, we're going to encourage that because we're aligned together. You know what I mean? If I'd have built this thing where I was, oh man, I was doing some things wrong, so to speak. My model, if I'd have built this at any other brokerage, I would be chasing every day. Like you said, reset back to zero, revolving door, team members coming in, coming out, because we provided value for them and leads and systems, but they outgrew that and found their own leads and systems, right? Yeah. So now you have a spot where, okay, it still benefits me to take them to that next level. And it's not just benefiting that broker. I'm not building that broker or that brand's future. I'm building my future, or you're building your future.
Exactly, and the people that you're with, right? Like as somebody, as a team member, like the opportunity, is now endless. Where before it's not, right? Like you still kind of like, you still got to chase every transaction. There's no chance to build future. There's no, like you can, like a team member on a team can build the same revenue share line as a team leader. Doesn't matter. You can build the same future there. You can build the same stock. You can build, like, you have the opportunity to, like, actually create wealth, create passive income, help, like pay for your house, like there's just, it's endless for everybody. And that's where I think the alignment comes in, because before that, it's, you've got somebody that you're working with, that you're on your team, and they're either going to get really good and leave you, or they're just going to kind of stay there forever, or it's just like, it's not going to work, and they're going to quit because it's just the transactional treadmill. Now it's like, there are other paths. It doesn't matter who you are. And we have the same conversation now. It's like, well, you got to do this because ultimately you're going to want to leave me soon, and I'm going to help you grow your team.
Yep.
Right. Like, I don't care anymore. Before, it's they leave your team, and now you're direct competition. Now it's not like that anymore. Now you're trying to grow people to build, your tree out, other people underneath you that are growing their, their model. And it's not like that anywhere else that I've seen, at least.
And I've said, so honestly, like, hell, we talk about the post, $1 million in stock, stuff like that. Honestly, I said this to Brittany a few times. I mean, one of the best things about we made this huge money in stock. We didn't make it off the backs of other agents, so to speak. They got rewarded for making that decision. I know agents in our group that have been here a short time. They have 10, 20 grand. I have agents that have been here 2-3 years. They got 50, 75 grand. I got an agent, he sells 4 million or so. He's got 75 grand in stock. I didn't make my money by taking other people's money. They're rewarded just like we are. It's stupid good. I mean, it's funny because you and I, we have two teams that produce at a very high level. And people think we just sit here and talk about EXPs and we're blue in the face. Like, this is like, no, we have conversations about lead gen, about all this stuff, but we get so excited about this because there's no opportunity like this. People just don't get how great of an opportunity this is. I mean, that's why we shift from talking about buyer leads and cold calls and all this stuff to
so like, what's our future look like? what does our family's future look like? In your case, it's like game changer. Boom, house sold, moving to Florida, starting a team there, have no stress, can go whatever direction you want, be happy with it. You're building your business that makes you happy, serves your family, as opposed to, man, it's just serving somebody else. And you're just, again, like you're just every day you're out there on the hunt. It's just, I mean, I think, obviously, I think that's just, it's like, to summarize it all, it's like, it just allows you to create the business that you want and the life that you want, as opposed to just being another real estate agent that's always on that treadmill.
And the fun part about it is, I mean, because obviously it takes especially for the people that have joined pretty much to date, it takes somewhat of an entrepreneurial mindset to get that. I mean, because not all agents, unfortunately, operate as an entrepreneur type mindset. They're more employee mindset, or as opposed to a business owner. But what's so cool is this culture of agents. One of the biggest things I love is they're always thinking about, is there a better way, or is there an end to this, or how do I better serve my clients, or how do I set up this smooth transaction in a complex process. You know what I mean? And that's been huge too. We talk about the money, we talk about the opportunity, all this stuff. But when I'm collaborating with these agents in here, we get so much more value towards our system for our clients, or our vendors, or just all this stuff, because of the collaborative nature of entrepreneurial minded agents. It's awesome.
It is.
You're partnering with some people at EXP that have thought they're entrepreneurs. You know what I mean? They think outside the box. I mean, who knows what that'll look like in 10 years as everybody starts joining here. We'll get the employee mindsets too, and that's fine. We'll welcome you in, and we'll get you thinking the right way. But it's a fun group. I mean, I always tell people, we go to these conferences and I can't wait for them to come back. I mean, it sucks not having.
I know, right? Yeah, it's been a crazy ride here this year, but eventually
it has.
It'll get back to school. Yeah.
It has, but it's so, like, we have a group like 20 people who we're not aligned with in terms of that rev share in any way, but they're just a blast. We collaborate, we network with them. I'm not that type of person. I'm not this like big networking guy, but we have a group of 20 solid EXP agents that we meet with at every conference. We like to have a good time, and we bounce ideas back off each other. It's just a fun group. I mean, the culture here, you cannot say it enough. Everybody's having fun. You know what I mean? This is like the most fun I think you can possibly have in real estate.
You're right.
It's a blast.
You are right, man. I think that's a good way to wrap it. I appreciate, man. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate the time. I appreciate you telling your story, because I think it's eye opening. I know when I started digging in, I was like, holy shit, man. I wish we would have made that move a lot sooner, but I'm happy we're here, and I'm happy we did it when we did it, So if you're looking for something different, if you're looking for, you're looking to build your future, if you're looking down the road to retirement, if you're burned out, talk to us. We can give you all the information. We can explain how everything works. Sometimes you just got to take that leap of faith, man, and pull the Band-Aid off and know that there's a better mousetrap out there, right?
Hell yeah, definitely. Yeah, you gotta reach out. Whether it's me or Matt, we can. Matt's got a killer group over there. I love everybody you're partnering with, man. It's great stuff. Love watching you grow. Love growing it here, man. We 5 years is going to be, the next 5 years is going to be just as fun as this 5 years was where we are now. Yeah,
we'll catch back up here in the near future here and see how things are going down in Florida, man.
Sounds good. I appreciate letting me come on here, and we'll talk to you soon, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in.